according to Wrestle Votes, it appears as if Triple H has some things up his sleeve because apparently has some surprises planned for the Raw after WrestleMania. So I want to know, what do you think the surprises are? Raw after Mania, night after Mania. Who do you think is going to show up to Raw after Mania? What do you think Triple H has in store?
The Rock couldn't make it to WrestleMania because he had his obligations.
Mm-hmm.
Did he say anything about ever showing up to SummerSlam or having?
He never heard anything regarding that.
I mean, that would be. I mean, it's not really that big of a surprise, but it would be a surprise just because everyone expected him to be there for WrestleMania, but now we know
Yeah.
he's not going to be there. I mean, I could see The Rock coming in just for the sake of continuing. That was an interesting noise.
I was about to say that was
Um,
a very, that was a very odd noise.
word of the day, y'all.
Odd.
I think there's a movie in the background. I apologize, y'all. Anyway, let me get back on brand here. All right, so I can see it being The Rock just because we did not get him at the most obvious and form-fitting event, and I could see that continuing the feud um with the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be cool. Shoot. As far as surprises go, I'm trying to think of people that would come back because I don't know what Triple H would actually do. I don't know. Let me come back to here. Let me hear what you gotta say. See if I get inspired.
I think we're gonna see the debut of Jay White of Raw after Mania. I think that it would be if and to be honest, I don't know what the timeline is of FTR um and their contracts expiring, but if they had a non-compete clause, then obviously they couldn't do it. But if they could work something out, I could also see the return of FTR. I also see the beginning of the Jay and Roman build to SummerSlam happening. Um, I just feel like with Hunter wants to bring back the essence of the magic of the Raw after WrestleMania. So I think we're gonna see a good mix of debuts, returns, heel and face turns, and just some wow moments. But I think that the biggest thing of the night is going to be the debut of Jay White because there were talks of him signing with WWE or talks of him joining WWE or talks of him speaking with a representative of WWE, and then they kind of died down. And
Right.
I feel like maybe an agreement has been reached and they're just trying to keep things low, but God knows. I mean, it probably just like there's a possibility of that happening, there's also a possibility of that not happening. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, I just think that all signs, at least in my mind, are pointing to a Jay White debut on the Raw after Mania.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I could also see some NXT call up happening
Mm.
just to spice up the division. So that would make sense.
Who do you think would be called up from NXT? This is a good one.
Um, I feel like Braun Breaker needs to just like leave already. I've been waiting for him to just like leave. Because I feel like he would fit way better up in the main roster.
Mm.
I feel like Nikita, I could definitely see them pushing her just because it's going to be easy for the fans to end up liking her.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Sol Roca wasn't like. I wish they would just expedite her. 'Cause I feel like
She's
she
a
already
star.
just
Yeah.
gives me she just oozes like baby face vibes. I want to say Roxanne, but then I don't know how Triple H would use Roxanne for some weird reason. But I could see Roxanne like moving up. That'd be interesting. Because she already was in the Rumble, so they already sprinkled her in for a reason.
Right.
I feel like I feel like the women's division does need a facelift, and they do need more people to play with. So I see more females. Why is his name slipping? Why is his name slipping me right now? The asshole heel that took me a long time to like. The one
Grayson
that
Waller.
had the yes, I would love him, and I for some reason would love to see him and Jay White around each other. I don't know why.
Ooh. That would be
Just
tough.
because they're both assholes. They're both assholes and they're so good at it.
Right.
If I know Jay White doesn't need anyone or he doesn't need a stable, but they would be funny as hell. In my personal opinion, I think they would be funny as hell next to each other. But I don't know who would you place them with if they were going up against someone. Jay White does need to debut individually, and he does need to eventually come across someone like a Cody Rhodes and stuff like
I was
that.
just about to say Cody versus that would be my first. That would be my first feud. JY versus Cody.
Yeah. Yeah, that would work.
That
But
would.
does Jay White like come in with like you know how like back in Japan he had like help, with his matches? Do you
Yeah.
think that they would pair anyone with him in particular for his help since he always played a chicken shit heel?
Um.
Like a manager of any sort or maybe like a lackey?
I don't know. To be honest, preferably a bigger guy. But I don't know any off of the top of my head. But we'll
Please not
see.
another Omos.
Huh?
Said please not another Omos. I could do like
Seriously, I feel like Omos is just his own individual talent, but I don't know. But that's a good that's a good question to ask. We're gonna keep. I'm gonna book the bar map. We're gonna revisit that the next show. But we want to know how y'all feel
mm,
about the Raw after Mania. What surprises do you think are coming? Let us know in the comments below. So that concludes our show for the week. Thank you guys